And good morning, everyone. And happy first day of school to Team HISD. I am Chevis T. Mitchell, the proud principal of Parker Elementary School, Houston's original music magnet. I would like to thank everyone for visiting with us this morning, with special recognition to our HISD Board Trustee, Myrna Guidry, and the HISD Board, our HISD cabinet members and district leadership that are attending with us this morning, and finally, my faculty and staff, and as well as our parent community. Indeed, this is a great day in Team HISD. Now it is my esteemed pleasure to introduce you to our HISD Superintendent Millard House II.
Thank you, sir. Let's give it up again for those students on the first day of school, being in unison and doing what they need to do to show what they have. Very, very impressive, and thank you for your teachers and educators that are making it happen to build the capacity in our students. Good morning. My name is Millard House. I'm the superintendent here in the Houston Independent School District, and welcome to the 2021-22 school year at HISD. I'm extremely excited about it. Today is a day to celebrate. Today is a day that we've really been looking forward to and making the pivots and adjustments to ensure that we are the best version of us that we can be as a school system. Our kids are, as you all know, walking through doors ready to see their teachers and friends, and beyond excited to welcome them into our classrooms today. Very, very excited. Our families have in many cases roughly been out of classrooms for 18 months and are looking from us as a school system to be that safe place of education, to make certain their kids get what they need. We can assure them that that's exactly what they will find when they walk in our buildings and come through the doors of those classrooms. Now, in terms of our back-to-school safety plan, you all may have heard that we've done some major updates and provided details to our Ready, Set, Go plan to ensure that we have strengthened all of the necessary protocols and measures for the safety of all of our students, staff, and those that they go home to on a daily basis as well. Masks, as you know, are required in HISD, in our classrooms, buildings, buses, regardless of vaccine status, and that's extremely important. This decision stems from one simple fact. If we can save just one life, then it's worth it. Again, if we can save just one life via transmission, then it's worth it. As you may know, we've moved forward to develop a pathway for a vaccine incentive for our students. And before I go any further, this would not have happened with the support of our trustees, and I have two of our trustees here today, Kathy Bluford Daniels and Trustee Gifford as well. Would you guys raise your hands? Let's give them a big hand. We couldn't do this without our trustees. But they, of course, our Board of Education recently approved a $500 stipend for all vaccinated employees, as well as an additional COVID-19 relief time that will allow for those that have to be away because they have COVID or because they are quarantined. They'll have 10 days to do so. That's a very, very important piece, and we wanted to show our employees how much we value them to ensure that we do that. We also are hosting vaccine clinics for students at our HISD locations in conjunction with the city and Mayor Sylvester Turner. We've established a virtual learning academy for almost 2,000 students, or 2,000 additional students in our Texas Connections Academy, and we've created a second virtual opportunity for those students that may have compromised immune systems as well. As we move forward this fall, we will continue to monitor these conditions, listen to the guidance of health experts, and remain flexible and ready to pivot as needed. And I think that's extremely important for us to understand, because as we look back 6 to 7 weeks ago, we didn't realize that we were going to be here. So we've, along with school districts across the state, have had to make some serious pivots to the left, pivots to the right, to make certain that we provide the kind of safe situations that we want to provide in our buildings. Teacher staffing. We've heard a lot about teacher staffing. Part of being adaptable is confronting the staffing challenges that we've seen all over the country. To combat this, we have directed 250 district employees with teaching certifications to be in core content classrooms. We want more than anything to ensure that we start the school year with individuals that are high quality in the classroom. And that's not to say anything negative about our substitute teachers. We have wonderful substitute committed teachers, but it's important that we provide that kind of support in a highly qualified teacher in the classroom. It is critical to provide all students access to equitable instruction, and this is where this starts. Now, when we talk about the pandemic and what it has created, it's extremely important that we understand that it's not just about the academics of a child. It's about the social and emotional well-being of children as well. So we have a laser-sharp focus on academics, but we know that students can't succeed without their basic needs being met. That's why we've expanded our wraparound services, providing at least one dedicated specialist in almost every school. These employees are tasked with connecting students and families with the necessary resources and services to address non-academic needs. These are individuals that are connectors to whatever our students may need, whatever parents may be missing. These individuals will focus on those needs. We also reach beyond and have, in many of our schools, developed emergency food pantries as well. One of these needs is food insecurity, and that's why emergency food pantries are coming in to HISD. We're launching 50 food pantries across the district through a Super Bowl of caring initiatives. So those of you that can and want to help with this initiative, we definitely want you to do so. These HISD super pantries includes staples of students and families that find themselves in emergency need of food and other supplies. So help out where you can, do your part. This is an important resource for our families, and we hope to expand this program and add more pantries over the next year. As I mentioned, social and emotional needs are huge, and it will be important that we understand all of these needs and the tangibles that go along with them. Our students have lived through the challenges and uncertainties brought upon us over the course of the last year and a half, and just like us, they have felt a wide range of emotions. Just as I dropped my fourth grader off at school this morning, he told me, "Dad, I have some butterflies in my stomach." And that's understandable, not just in reference to students, but also adults as well. So our social and emotional learning initiative will be a major part of what we do. This will help us to address these social and emotional needs that we really know many kids are struggling with. One of them is a pet-assisted wellness support program in partnership with our HISD Police Department. And I had the pleasure this morning of walking around with our social and emotional dog that allowed for many students to feel that kind of support. This program enhances the HISD crisis response team and the treatment of a trauma and mental health situation. Some of you met one of these dogs. His name is Jamaica, and Jamaica, even though he was small, he was heavy on the leash when I was pulling him this morning. And Jamaica's doing a great job with pulling down some of those heavy needs that our students have as well. So we're thankful for that program. Soon we'll be launching and renaming a contest that students and teachers can participate in. I encourage you to keep an eye out for more information in reference to details on our social and emotional work in this contest that I mentioned as well. A little bit more about our virtual academy. We also know that some of the most vulnerable students are still experiencing and not adjusting with some of the emotions that they're struggling with. The variant has really pushed us in a little bit different direction socially and emotionally. And to ensure that the health and safety of these students are A1, we are launching a virtual academy for those students 11 years old and younger who have compromised immune systems. Again, 11 years old and younger who have a compromised immune system. The virtual academy starts next Monday, August the 30th, and I encourage parents with eligible students to apply before the deadline this coming Wednesday, August the 25th. Again, the deadline is Wednesday, August the 25th, for those students that may have compromised immune systems that would like to look at a virtual option. More details about this eligibility and application process are on our website at houstonisd.org/virtual academy. We also have information in reference to this information in Spanish, so please go to the website and check it out. In addition, we've established a temporary online learning option for students who need to quarantine because of COVID-19 as well. We believe these measures will help us bridge the gap as we work to address the necessary learning loss that many of our students have dealt with. Now, our bond program. Of course, I'd be remiss if I didn't take this opportunity to mention to you that Bel Air High School is the final campus being rebuilt as a part of our 2012 bond program. And we're very, very excited about what's happening there. The first phase of the new Bel Air, new academic fine arts and physical education wings opened today. Congratulations to Principal Mike Madonna, and all the Cardinals on this monumental occasion in reference to opening these couple of facilities on that campus. We're now proceeding with the second phase, tearing down the original campus to make way for the athletic field, administration wing, and parking garage. The work will be completed next year, and when it's done, it will bring our 2012 bond program to a close. We are now looking to the future as we address our nearly $5 billion worth of deferred maintenance needs, and that is important for our community to know and understand. A $5 billion worth of deferred maintenance need. And what does that mean? That means that we will be coming to this community in the near future to ensure that we meet many of the other needs around our facilities and deferred maintenance. To help us with this work, we are launching a capital campaign steering committee, an independent citizen review charged with providing strategic direction, feedback, and guidance to the district as we prepare to address capital needs identified in 2021 and beyond. So we're really looking forward to meeting our physical needs in our buildings through the fiscal means of providing the dollars that we know that this community will be generous enough to move forward with. Now, in closing, this is a new school year in HISD full of promise for each student and staff member. We have the opportunity to be fiercely compassionate while also sparking our students' renewed love of learning and charting a new course in their educational journey. As your superintendent, I promise to you this school year that we will make every decision based on the data and based on the best interests of your students and your families. A big thank you to our parents for trusting us with your children. I was so enthused to be on the sidewalk at a few different elementary schools this morning as parents walked their students or dropped their students off at the curb and trusted us to educate them and give them what they need. I also want to thank our teachers and staff for their commitment and resolve during this difficult time. Lastly, I want to thank our community members for rolling up their sleeves and getting it done and providing the support where the support needed to be provided. Lastly, I want to reassure our resilient students that we are all here for each and every one of them to guide them and support them in this academic journey this year. Let's have a safe and rewarding school year. Let's ensure that our students are successful and provide exactly what they need for this 21-22 school year. Now it's time to get ready, set, and go. Let's go HISD. Be glad to take any questions if there are any at this time. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
So you said 2,000 additional students in the virtual learning academy. How many kids total are in that?
So great question. The Virtual Learning Academy is through Texas Connections Academy, and that's actually been grandfathered in. We've had it for quite some time. It had 8,020 students to be exact prior to us expanding by 2,000. So we'll be looking at just over 10,000 students if it reaches its capacity.
And are those 2,000 the 11 that were kids?
No, great question. Let me clarify. Those 10,000 are actually 3rd through 12th grade, and the additional students that have immune or compromised immune systems, those can again sign up, as soon as possible via our website. That's a totally different group.
And the other question I wanted to ask you about is, can you elaborate more on what the policy will be if there are any partial or full school closures because of cases? Can you elaborate on that?
So great question. It's a very common question, and generally what I get is what is the threshold for closing schools down? And there really is not a threshold. All of our schools look a little different, and depending on the situation, and that's why we've instituted seating charts in our classrooms, seating charts in our cafeterias. That way, if there is a positive case, and when there is a positive case, we'll have positive cases today. It's just the nature of what we're dealing with in public education right now. But we will contact trace and take a close look at who's been exposed or potentially been exposed. And that means we may close down a portion of a classroom. That means we may shut down a grade level. It just depends in that particular situation. And after the contact tracing, that will provide us the information that we need to deal with that particular situation. So every situation will look a little bit different when we talk about contact tracing and the steps afterwards.
Can you talk about the nursing staff at your schools as well as the status on testing?
So testing will continue to happen. We're extremely happy to have partners at the state that are providing testing. The county, Harris County is doing a wonderful job with not only vaccinating but also testing. We're doing both in some of our schools as well. We'll continue to do so as long as we need to, and think that there's a major focus that has to happen. We know that one of the things that has to continue is we need to get as many individuals in this community vaccinated. That is huge. Just this past weekend, I attended events and saw many students, staff members, community members that moved forward to take that plunge to be vaccinated. I know one of the major stories that's out there right now is what's happened in New York City. If you've read already, NYC and their public schools have mandated that employees be vaccinated. That's not where we are as a school system as of yet. I'm sure that question was coming, so I want to go ahead and hit it head on and address it. We've decided to incentivize first and really take a look at the numbers and see where the numbers are. And hopefully by the time we get through the height of the pandemic and things are heading in the right direction, that might not be necessary.
What's the process to notify parents when there's a COVID case in the school?
So it kind of goes back to understanding the who, first of all. Once we get that call that, hey, my child or me as an adult, I'm positive, then we take the seating charts, we do the contact tracing, and then we reach out to those that are affected, parents that have students that were potentially in the non-safe zone, and we let those parents know as soon as possible. So it's a pretty simple process, but what helps us in that process is the contact tracing, the seating charts. That lets us know where kids are. Otherwise, it's like finding a needle in a haystack to truly be able to do the contact tracing right.
Let me ask you, we just talked to some parents outside of one of the schools. There's some sort of confusion about, how to get their kids vaccinated, those 12 and over. And the mother was explaining to me that she was vaccinated, but there was some sort of confusion as to where we should take her kids. We know that the city of Houston is doing everything to make sure that those kids are vaccinated, but is the district trying to, especially those Hispanic mothers, give them the information that they need so that these kids are ready to go back instead of being unvaccinated?
And that's a great, and that's what our wraparound services, our counselors, our principals will assist with once they get inside the walls of our schools. We will do everything, whether that resource is inside of that school or whether that resource is 2 blocks down. We'll do everything necessary to help So when we have individuals like that, let them know to communicate with our staff. We have Spanish-speaking individuals in just about all of our schools that can provide the kind of support, whether they're English speakers or not. So that's what those wraparound connectors, wraparound service coordinators are all about.
Kind of on the topic of virtual learning, do you think the state should have a more robust option for that?
So virtual learning has been left up to school districts in the state of Texas, and the state has not necessarily taken a vested interest around having a uniform process in reference to virtual learning. So it's something that we'll take on when needed, and if we need to make those adjustments and pivots to expand or whatever may need it, just like we most recently did, we'll do so.
Do you have concerns with rising cases of variants as we start the school year?
You know, the variant and COVID-19 has been concerning, period. We know that we've seen an increase from 4% community spread over a 14-day average to over 21% in just 6 or 7 weeks. So it's a concern. We also know that the science helps us in this process, knowing that the sewage water samples that we've seen have shown that we probably will see another month of cases in a similar format that we've seen, or a similar level that we've seen. But we'll continue to mitigate. We'll continue to focus on our strategies in our schools. The most important thing that we can focus on as educators is doing what's right to keep our students in schools. And that's what we want to do.
And then as far as innovation goes, we talked a lot about that. Can you talk about some of your biggest plans, I guess, as we start the school year in regards to that?
So outside of COVID, because it's taken a lot of attention, I'm in the process of developing a robust strategic plan. A part of my 90-day plan did have 3 goals. And one of the goals was, of course, re-engaging with our community. The second goal was ensuring that we provided a safe and healthy return. So we met 2 of those goals. So the third goal is ensuring that we bring to my trustees and bring to our community a robust strategic plan that will really take our school system to the next level. So I've got another 50, 60 days to move forward with that, but it's in motion.
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
Hi. So you've gotten some pushback on masks from some parents. How was it today? And what is the protocol if students don't want to wear a mask? Say they come to school and, there's an issue with maybe somebody not wanting to wear a mask.
So let me be clear, masks are not a choice. Masks are mandated in our school system, in all of our facilities, our buses for students and staff. If we run into a situation where individuals don't comply with what that mandate is, staff can be unfortunately met with discipline. Students are in a little bit different situation where if they don't comply, we'll be separating them from the rest of the population of their classroom and asking parents to come get them. If they don't comply beyond that, then they'll be moved into a temporary virtual status thereafter. Want to thank you all for being here and appreciate any and all support as we continue, like this gentleman said in the back, to provide the necessary information for our community members to know where students and community members can go to get vaccinated. Thank you, and have a great one.